Hey, folks, so a couple of weeks ago, we talked about the Electoral College. And remember the fact that you got to have 270 electoral votes to win. Every state is a winner take all except for Maine and Nebraska. But you got to have 270 electoral votes. That's the magic number. But what happens if you don't get to 270? If one candidate does not make it to 270 electoral votes? Well, the Constitution then provides for what has become known as a contingent election. And that means it's not you, the voters, who are going to decide, or even the electors who are going to decide the presidency. It is the members of the House of Representatives. And even that is not very democratic because it's not the entire state, it's not each person, each representative, as like in electing the Speaker of the House, which we saw the fiasco of over the last couple of years. Each representative doesn't get a vote. Every state gets a vote. Each state gets one vote. The District of Columbia gets nothing. So all of those voters are completely disenfranchised. They get nothing, but every state gets one vote, which means the 560-something thousand people of Wyoming have the exact same clout as the 39 million people in California. The 640,000 roughly people in Vermont have the exact same clout as the 29 million people in the state of Texas. That is as undemocratic as it gets. But that's what happens. One vote per state. Now, I want you to think about that because it's the top 3 vote getters in the Electoral College that are sent to the House of Representatives. Think about the possibilities of the corruption, of the illicit bargains, things that could happen to elect the President of the United States. It's only happened like 3 times in American history, and certainly in not the modern world. Also think about what would happen in a January 6th-like situation. Look what happened in the peaceful transfer of power when they were just counting the electoral votes, much less what would happen in today's world if the House of Representatives was actually electing the President of the United States. And here's the thing, they only elect the president. They don't elect the vice president. The top 2 vote getters in the Electoral College for vice president are elected by the Senate. Each senator gets one vote and they elect the vice president. So it's theoretically possible that you have a president of one party, a vice president of another party, which means total chaos. This is something that ought to be concerning. And, just a few weeks ago, people were at Selma commemorating the Voting Rights Act and the Selma to Montgomery March. People have fought and died for voting rights, and a contingent election throws all of that out the window. And we need to remember that. I keep going back to my friend John Lewis. John fought all his life for voting rights. But in a contingent election, the way I just described, votes of the people just don't matter. And it's left to the whims of a dysfunctional House of Representatives and the United States Senate. And there is no telling what happens. And I am concerned about the corruption. I am concerned about the violence. Bottom line is you're disenfranchising people that fought so hard to vote. Even from back in the Revolution, the people that fought so hard for the right to vote will be completely disenfranchised in that. When John signed this book to me, the last thing he wrote was, "With faith and hope, keep your eyes on the prize." I can't think of anything worse in American politics, anything more that would cause people to lose faith and hope in our American system of government if the ultimate prize in American politics is decided by the House of Representatives in a contingent election. We'll talk about why third parties and independents can't win next. But folks, let's prevent a contingent election.